My 24 male girlfriend 24 female cheated on me last night. I have been dating my girlfriend for almost 3 years now. Since we started dating I have made it very clear how important it is to me that my girlfriend is loyal and never cheats on me. My girlfriend has always been one to flirt, but it never bothered me that much since it always ended there. I think it stems from her self-esteem and seeking approval from others. We haven't had a perfect relationship, but we've both grown a lot and been through a lot. She's my best friend and we both thought we would get married eventually. She lives across the country from me. Last night she went out with her friends. I thought this alone was irresponsible because of COVID and took MDMA. She was sitting on the porch with her friends and then they went inside and it was just her and some guy left. After chatting for a bit they made out for a minute before she pulled away and regretted it. She went home immediately crying in the Uber. She told me first thing this morning and apologized. She has been genuinely apologizing all day and begging for a second chance, saying she will make changes and it will never happen again. I still love her so much, but I don't know if I can get over the cheating. Do you think I should give her a second chance or end things now while it's easy? She knew cheating was a deal breaker, but did it anyways. We are in the middle of a pandemic but went to a party and made out with a stranger. Long-distance relationships rely heavily on trust and communication. It can't survive if trust is gone. And it's gone. Here on out you won't be able to trust her. You have to rely on her word that it was only a kiss when she already broke your trust by cheating. For your own sanity, break up and move on. It only gets worse here on out. And find someone closer to start a relationship with. Do you want to give her a second chance? Or are you holding on because you've been together for so long? Personally, I'd say the drugs and flirting have to both stop. Alone they may not have had this outcome, but clearly together they lead to very poor decisions. And by being okay with the flirting you've opened up this situation. I'm not saying it's your fault, just that it could have been potentially avoided. If you want to continue, she needs to learn healthier ways to build her self-esteem. Other than that, it'll take a lot of work, time, and open communication. It's hard to rebuild trust once broken. Isn't worth giving second chances. I'd say that 1 minute was the quickest 15 to 20 minutes of her life. Absolutely no second chance. She cheated once, she can do it again. Actions have consequences. And I'd never be able to trust her. If you give her a second chance, you've shown her that you have no self-respect. Drugs, alcohol, being overly flirty are not excuses for cheating. How many, "It will never happen again," do you want to hear? Disrespect is disrespect. Give her the boot and move on. In the post you say you're okay with her flirting, but in another comment you say you're not and you've had a talk about it. So we have, you prioritize loyalty and cheating. She likes to flirt. The flirting gets to a point where you've had to talk about with her. She goes out and takes Molly during COVID-19 and without you. And then now we have she that cheated. You're also in a LDR. This might be one of the times that she regretted and felt too guilty to tell you about. What's to say she hasn't done before? I wouldn't go with second chance. I don't believe her story. She's crying and apologizing multiple times over kissing. I think there might be something more. I've done MDMA, ecstasy, cocaine, and every drug you can think of. All of which I did while with my partner. But never once did I cheat or feel the urge to. Drugs are mood enhancers and they don't change who a person is but how they react. Trust me, my ex tried the same excuse with me and the crying and everything, but deep down I knew it wasn't okay, but I stayed. Then he cheated again, and again. My advice is if she keeps acting suspicious and flirty, break it off or break it off ASAP. By taking MDMA she accepted the possibility that this could happen since it was without you. I absolutely don't think you should break up. 1. She had drugs in her system that clouds judgment. If she hadn't been high, do you think she would have kissed another guy? 2. She stopped what was happening before it progressed. 3. She confessed. You didn't catch her, she confessed immediately. 4. She's very remorseful. Most cheating stories that end up here describe people. 1. Who cheat repeatedly. 2. They aren't high or drink, they are sober. 3. Go so far as having intercourse. 4. Only have remorse when they are caught. She needs to stop taking drugs, needs to stop hanging around people who take drugs. And if you also take those drugs, you have to give them up right with her so she doesn't fall back. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Cut your losses and move on, bud. You're still young. There's other, loyal, fish out there in the sea. You're 24 years old, move on and be happy. I would end it, personally. Forgive a kiss on MDMA dude. Shit happens on drugs that is miles off who people are when sober. If she fucked him I wouldn't be saying. I don't believe it stopped at making out for a bit. She fucked him for sure. Ever heard of trickle truth? It goes like this. 1. We just made out but I regret it. 2. I blew him but I felt pressured into it. 3. We fucked but it was the MDMA, I wasn't myself. 4. I'll continue talking to him because we're just friends. She will admit to only as much as she thinks you can find out about. Don't believe a word she says. Dump her. She's a cheater. If she did it once, she will do it again. Find someone who isn't garbage. If you set boundaries on the flirting thing, and she went past them, she's not respecting you or your boundaries you set. If it's a self-esteem thing for her, well, there's other ways to work through self-esteem. Her using it as a self-esteem thing is an excuse but not a justification. She was aware she was with you, aware of all that she put into the relationship and still chose to kiss this guy. Sure, she pulled away, but she put herself into that situation and went with it for quite a bit. Perhaps next time she won't pull away. Put yourself in her shoes. Can you genuinely see yourself doing those things, given the relationship with your girlfriend? If not, then maybe the relationship is more meaningful to you. I can't tell you what to do, but it's food for thought. Yeah man, your mental health will be shit forever while you're with her. Nope. End it. It's likely she did more than she said and didn't want to admit it, but she will admit the small things to draw attention away. My cheating ex did the same thing. It's not worth your time. You will be paranoid the rest of the time in the relationship if you don't end it. She absolutely should not be making out with another guy. Deep in your heart you understand what must be done to adulterers. Alhamdulillah. They made out for a minute. Trickle truth. Ex-girlfriend. Best friends do not cheat on you. She won't change. End it and find someone that treats you with respect. End it. It's likely more happened than she said. It's easy to admit to a small thing and leave it there than reveal the whole truth. My cheating ex did the same thing. Not worth your time since it'll make you paranoid the rest of your time with her. They didn't just kiss. She fucked him, dude. You're being naive if you believe anything different. Have you done ecstasy? Molly. It's unclear whether or not she would have cheated if she weren't under the influence, but she willingly put herself in that situation. She was ready to party. If it was a one-time thing that might be happened, it'd be weary, but give her a second chance. But honestly, the whole thing where she flirts, even if it just ends there, to me that's a turnoff. If you want you can stay, but I don't think this is a good situation, man. Leave and find someone better. I think her reaction may indicate it was more than a kiss. Find out. Firstly, she was on MDMA, which would have affected her judgment greatly. If she's genuinely sorry, I would say to forgive her, but set some hard rules going forward. The drug taking needs to stop now. Also, she needs to agree to go to therapy or find some other way to sort through her self-esteem issues, or else stuff like this will happen repeatedly. And #X200B. I don't think this is something worth breaking a relationship over, particularly if she's remorseful and agrees to change her behavior. The fact that she told you seems to indicate some amount of sincerity to her remorse. I suppose it's possibly she's being manipulative, but I tend to give the benefit of the doubt, and maybe what happened is that she never really had established any lines for herself, and last night discovered what those lines were. She may have crossed a line she didn't know she had, and may be much less likely to ever want to go near it again. That's my optimistic answer. There's still room for you two to have a thriving relationship, if you want to. I've done a lot of in my time. Never have I taken it without my husband, and never had I ever lost control enough to not have control of my lips. She crossed many lines and committed, in my opinion, a relationship sin. If I were in your position I would separate. Honestly, you don't know what happened. You do know she cheated. It was at least as bad or worse. But you don't know. You know that if you let her off too easy she will do it again. It is a test, at least subconsciously, for her about you. She is also testing herself. Look, you are also long distance, this is bound to happen again. So it is doubtful that this will work out anyway. I don't think I would consider this cheating personally. She made a mistake, while under the influence, informed you as soon as possible, and it was like a 2-second thing. She didn't follow through and sleep with him or go beyond a split-second bad decision. I had a similar situation with my girl. It was in 2006 and she went to a party, got drunk and made out with another woman. The next day as I'm walking out the door for work she tells me. Then she later blames me for not going. Then this girl gets pregnant and she told me she wanted to get pregnant. After years and years I pull a little truth out at a time. I feel this situation drastically changed our relationship. Oddly enough this girl won't have anything to do with her. Mind you, she was married and we were married. I feel more happened. And the fact that the truth isn't told makes it much worse. Good luck, but I'd move on. I just saw the drug part. Did she take them for an excuse to cheat? I know girls that very much wanted a certain guy or thing to happen, then wanted deniability. So drank and I was drunk, that's why. Forgive me. What was the relationship with this guy? Just met or someone she flirted with and already knew. I honestly think if you give her a second chance you're going to be fucked emotionally for a long time. Breaking up with her is the best bet. If you feel you being cheated on, then find out. When it comes to relationship you have to be very careful and know what you are up for. I was a living example. My past relationship was hell. My ex almost get everything I worked for all my life. I noticed something is going wrong and I feel it. I talk about it with a friends at work and she refer to this kind and loving spy lord. HACKLORD 904 on the Gmail. This was the help. I had to hack into his phone and I was able to see everything his planning and I was able to overcome his plans. The is just little able. My experience when it comes to relationship. You need to know better able who you are planning to spend the rest of your life with before getting hurt at the end. Thanks. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Dump her. Speaking from experience and science, MDMA temporarily physically alters the mind. Even though at the time your girlfriend may have remembered that cheating is bad, the love and empathy she would have been feeling at the time naturally wants to show love and affection to those near her. Have you ever taken the drug? It would be helpful if you have, as you would be able to relate to what your GFS state of mind may have been like while high. Party, drunk, high on MDMA. Sure, it was only a kiss. In a few months' time you will find out it was just a feel, then it was just a BJ. Then. She was the one who told you. She could have kept quiet. Keep that in mind. On the dark side, giving her a second chance would make her more faithful to you, given that certain ladies have this thing of exploring before they settle on one person, so she's decided you're the right fit, I suppose. All the best, op. If you don't see yourself marrying her after this incident, don't even bother continuing it. You'll have resentment down the road if you truly can't forgive her. You need to talk to her about why she didn't have the willpower to stop the guy kissing her. Yes, it is wrong what she did, but if she is honest with you why she did it, then maybe you can try to fix it. Is your relationship become boring and too stable and predictable? Or since you live far away do you not see her often? Maybe she needs someone to be with her more often, and if you can't, then maybe the best thing is to separate. Just ask her to be honest with you of her feelings, then you can decide what to do. Don't listen to the Reddit community to decide an important life decision. We don't know any specifics. If you forgive her, I promise it will happen again. I am sorry, but she knew what was happening, so I'd stick to your guns and she broke the deal. Do you have plans to live near each other? Like less than an hour away? If no, I'd say break up. LDR is very hard, and unless you're planning to be together physically it's going to be hard to trust her. Let it go. She was on Molly. Molly just makes you want love from anywhere like a puppy. And if all she really did was make out, it's not a big deal. Especially on MDMA, it's not so much sexual as it is love of humans. Ice-kissed dudes on Molly and I'm straight AF. Just let it be. Cheating is a choice, it's never an accident and doesn't just happen. I have done MDMA multiple times, and haven't ever hooked up with people using that as an excuse, even though I've been single for the whole time I've taken MDMA. Nope. It will never leave your psyche. She's just a girlfriend and not a spouse. Simply move on and start fresh. That's what I would do anyway.